Welcome back. So, last time, Medion escaped, and Hermes and Emmett Selk and Hyplodeus had their memories erased. And Vena and us are the only ones who know what went on. And then we caught a glimpse of what the Sundering was like, and now we have to go talk to Cryle. But I should actually resume the New Game Plus. So that there is a Cryle to talk to. Ready? Asuka, impeccable timing as always. I'd heard you were off in the first as part of our efforts to investigate the final days. Well, as so often seems to be the case, while you were away we've had some few developments, which we can discuss in just a moment. Now, however, I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to have you back. As the heavens burn. So, have you learned aught more of the final days? Yeah? Then the journey was well worth the risk. No doubt your newfound knowledge will be a great boon to us all. Unfortunately, during your time on the First, events here have taken a turn for the worse. The Scions are running themselves ragged, trying to contain the spread of blasphemies, but it's a losing battle. To try and ascertain the where and why of it, Alice and Elfino have been traveling all over. Of all the regions they've visited, Locus and Manus is one of the worst affected. Thancred, Estinian, and Graha took a detachment of allied soldiers there to offer aid and succor to those in need. But the province is vast. They only managed to visit a handful of coastal villages. It was an accomplishment worth celebrating still, but a drop in the bucket at best. In the meantime, Y'shtola and Master Matoya have been making a concerted effort to establish contact with Hydaelyn in the Ethereal Sea, but to no avail. As for Tataru and I, we've been keeping a close eye on the Forum. From what we gather, they've been constructing a vessel to ferry people to the moon, an ambitious project that has likely been years, if not decades, in the making. However, since we've seen no sign of it thus far, I suspect it's still incomplete. You will also recall the proposal issued by Master Fortuno to the people of Radzatan. Following their discussion, Reacher declared his support for the plan and urged those who wish to evacuate to accept the Forum's invitation. So far so good, but that's where things get a little strange. Apparently, the Forum caught wind of the lunar teleporter in the Tower of Babel and decided to use it to deliver people to the moon instead of their mysterious ship. Therefore, to secure safe passage for the Hannish refugees to the tower, Elfino, Alice, Estinian, and Graha traveled to Garlemald not long ago. Trouble is, the capital was hardly the safest place to begin with, and now the final days have come to Garlemald. Shortly after our friends arrived, they were sent to rendezvous with Master Fortuno. Then, panic broke out and our communications were severed. From what fragments we were able to make out before the link shell went completely silent, we can only assume the phenomenon has spread to the capital. The others need you, Asuka. Please, you must help them. On my way. Having you there will make all the difference, I'm sure of it. Camp Broken Glass was their first port of call, so you'd best start there. Hopefully Lucia will know where they are. There's no telling what you'll be walking into, so you'd best take every possible precaution. Alright, let's go to Camp Broken Glass. Just teleport there. Well, it's gonna be a duty. Asuka, and not a moment too soon. The skies over Garlemald are ablaze, but it's events on the ground that concern me. As you will have heard, your fellow Scions arrived ahead of you. We cut the customary greeting short after we received word from our troops on the Magna Glacius that the Forum's airship had landed. It was then that the heavens began to burn. I dispatched your friends at once to ensure the refugees come to no harm. I would have you join them immediately. Additional support is en route, but we will discuss them later. I trust you are ready to depart. Yes. Earlier on the Magna Glacius. Uh-oh.
No. No. We were promised an escape. Not the same we fled.
That's not good.
I shall not meet my final days here in this blasted waste. Calm yourselves. Your panic is our greatest enemy. Come, we must build a line of defense. How?
Leave the fighting to us, Father. You must lead the people to safety.
I can handle this pair.
You shall tend to the refugees. Let us be about it.
As you wish, my little lord.
Oh, we're Alpha now.
I'll command the beast's attention. See to the wounded.
Help is at hand.
Just healing them for now. Alright, they're all healed. Now we've got to...
Leave it to me.
Now we're doing some fighting. Sorry, I got distracted. Because his moves have different names than they otherwise would. Okay, Scions. Pull them off. No, don't change. Gosh, dang it.
Those who can stand, come with me.
Yeah, so Elfino's attacks have slightly different names than the standard Sage attack names, so I was confused for a second. No.
Easy now. Deep breaths.
No changing. You there. No
You're
changing.
safe now.
Oh, Fortuno's over there healing someone. See?
Worry
can't
not
leave
for the
the circle.
refugees, but for yourself.
Stinian's back. Wait. Stinian. So now we're fighting this thing. And you know, we'll have to keep Stinian healed up. Stop it. Will you stop damaging Stinian? Can I attack anything? No. I'm just gonna have to keep throwing the heals on a Stinian. And myself, apparently. This thing. Uh-oh, we've been interrupted. Stinian, stop getting hit by tank busters.
Hard, but not hard enough!
Throw a barrier on him a little bit. Almost done. There we go. It's dead.
Help! Someone, please!
What?
Or
No. Don't. I don't want to die.
oh,
Forward! Let not a single fiend escape!
it's Euless.
Wait, that's... Euless and the army. So, you've recovered then? In time enough to be of aid. For once. We can speak of it more later. For now, we must fight!
These must be the other
To repay
reinforcements.
your salvation in kind, or with better! For Garlemald has her pride!
They must be the other replacements that Lucio was talking about, but didn't have time to mention or like get into detail about.
Of that I've no doubt.
Good gods. Of all possible saviors, the Imperial Army.
Well, You didn't know your daughter could make
I
big
had
explosions?
hoped to take all of them down at once.
Think a withdrawal might be in order?
Oh, sod that. You know who would never abandon these people to their fate. To be devoured by their former friends. That'd be beyond cruel. These beasts must fall here and now.
Well then, I'd say it's high time we threw caution to the winds.
So long as you spare me the heroic sacrifices. Now, let's go!
Based on that zoom in, I guess we are at Alizé? We'll know. Yep, we are. Oh no, more. Oh, Alizé gets a limit break on her hotbar. We're gonna end up having to use it. She doesn't follow the usual red mage rotation. She's got her own individual one. Which is actually slightly less complicated than usual. Graha, you are a healer. Why are you not healing yourself? Big ol' enemy there. Do our melee stuff.
I'm fine.
Do that combo again soon. Stop doing damage to me. Graha. So, that bit where you'll see me at the tail end of a cast bar, the little, where you'll see me move even though the casting bar is still present. There is a split second where you can move at the end of, casting a spell before it actually goes off, and that move is called slide casting. So like that, where I moved just before the casting was actually finished.
I'm not done yet.
Slide casting is really important for lactates because almost everything they have is has a long cast time.
The air crackles with energy. Find cover!
Standard Graha hide behind the rocks as the various meteors fall.
As they say, turnabout fair play.
We get to use the limit break now.
On guard.
Yay. We did it.
There's not the barest trace of ether. Maybe there really is no way to bring them back.
Thank you for saving our lives once again. I remember you, from Purusha. You helped us there too, didn't you?
Ah, you're from Palaka's stand. I'm glad you're still in one piece. Or you will be, once I see to that injury of yours.
Yeah, red mages have a little bit of healing.
Look out! Get out of here! Quickly! I won't lose them. Not a one. This will be a brighter future. I won't let a madman's apocalypse ruin everything we've fought to achieve!
Raha's gone paladin mode.
Get it together, Alize. You're embarrassing yourself. And in front of Father, no less. You might never measure up to our champion. But we ask too much of her as it is. You mustn't let our sword in the darkness fight alone.
The funny answer. This is precisely why you should never skip your squat regimen. Just say I'm back.
I can look after myself, you know.
Everything's in order? I trust?
Well, we've got a lot to talk about.
I've had enough of this rabble! Come on!
Oh, a trio for the ages.
Now we are us. The quickness with which things die once we're back in the fight is really something. Oh, didn't get out of that in time.
Just the beginning. I had a feeling I'd find you here.
Oh, Justinian's here.
This should be the last of the US troublemakers. With me!
This is a cool way to have a little read. I'm enjoying it. Sorry, I should be talking more, but I was just enjoying the reunion. After all the heavy emotional stuff with Elvis.
Now, where were we?
There we go. Killed it. That fight is kind of a nice release after everything that we went through with Hermes and Medion.
You must board without delay. The ship will depart ere long.
Your offer to host us in Scions is most appreciated. But will the final days not soon fall upon it as well?
Your hesitation is not unwarranted. The satrap entrusted me with your lives, yet I have failed your comrades. Nor are you wrong to fear that this corruption will continue to spread. I cannot promise you complete safety, even in my homeland. What I can promise is that I will do all in my power to protect you. That power is not inconsiderable. Even now, my countrymen are preparing the vessel that will deliver us to a sanctuary on the moon. Join us on our journey there, and beyond, to new horizons. Come to old Scions, please.
We would be fools to refuse such a generous offer made in earnest.
It seems they've a new destination.
The people of Radzat Han have known too much suffering. The march to Garlemald will only bring them more, short though it may be.
I quite agree. Fortunately, they have you to look after them.
Yes. Well,
Behind you! Just there!
Uh-oh.
More of them.
Xenos. You're certainly not helping for
Xenos?
a good reason.
Here!
You'll be all right. Hurry to the airship.
Why have you come?
A heretofore unseen beast. 'Twas ripe for the slaying. Poor sport, alas. Unfit to temper my blade.
Oh, for the love of... You cannot still be on about a rematch.
That is and has ever been my sole concern. You, on the other hand, are fixated on a different quarry. Your passion pales before mine. Yet neither hate nor despair seems sufficient to recapture your misdirected bloodlust. So, I hone my blade, and I wait.
That's it. That's all you care about. Garlemald is in ruins. Our homeland, the nation you rule, is as good as gone. Along with so many of its people. Not just soldiers like us. Not only those who fought and killed for power and duty. Innocent civilians. Murdered by their own flesh and blood. Lost and confused as they breathed their last. While we who survived with our lives and minds intact were left to freeze to death. The Eorzeans tell me all this was your doing! You slaughtered your countrymen! You did! For what?
Yeah, for what, Xenos?
For nothing, in the end. So much wasted effort.
You bastard!
For your own sake, Eulus, you must control your anger. It will serve no one should it consume you and see you transformed.
Would you be happier had I a good reason?
What?
If my motives met with your approval, would you no longer resent the outcome? If so, then perhaps a beast's skin would suit you better. Duty, honor, morality. All constructs of convenience when put to proof. Surely the war taught you how easily power becomes the tool of the self-righteous. How the people's justice was merely a means to their ends? Yet you would ask me why. Ask any creature of this star and those above for answers, and they will tell you what suits their fancy. And they would be right to do so. What meaning there is to be found in the petty vicissitudes of your existence must be gleaned by you, and you alone. Should you seek it in battle in the fruitless pursuit of my demise, then come. Assume your rightful place as a notch on my blade.
You are a blight on the Garlean race, and there would be no more satisfying way to expunge it than by beating you to death. But I will not be party to another tragedy. I refuse to lose anyone else because of you. So go. Go! And may we never suffer your madness again!
Xenos! Perhaps you found meaning in living this way. I cannot deny you found strength. Yet if you only pursue your hedonistic pleasures and pay no heed to the plight of others, then no one will give you the time of day. You will never get what you want, not even the battle you pine for so dearly. You'll be alone for an eternity, and you'll deserve every agonizing second of it.
Wow. To go from the primary villain of Stormblood to someone that everyone just tells to get the hell out of here. Quite the fall.
We're ready to depart. The refugee ships will be leaving shortly, but I've asked mine to remain for the time being. There's room enough for you to join me on it, if you wish. Do contain your surprise. I needn't agree with the Scions' methods or intentions to acknowledge that their deeds are deserving of gratitude.
We appreciate the offer. But might I ask why you are delaying your departure? I presume it is not solely for our benefit.
Oh, yeah, we can teleport and stuff.
I must visit Garlemald ere we return to Sharlayan. Having caused such an uproar, 'tis only meet that I explain myself to the Ilzabard contingent.
Allow us to accompany you then. We should be glad to facilitate, given our familiarity with all concerned. If you would like to join as well, Eulus, we can speak of recent events on the way.
Oh, Elfino's got a blue-haired new friend.
He'll be after your seat on the forum next.
This is the widest I've ever seen an elf size get in this game. quite zoomed in all the way. There we go. Hello, Alize. To see Zeno standing there so uncaring and unrepentant. Gods, I don't know what came over me. I just blurted out the first thing that came to mind. But looking back on it, I stand by those words. I would say I hope they won't incite him to further villainy, but to be honest, I doubt he even remembers what I said. Anyway, enough about all that. It's good to see you again. Yep. And now Lucia's got the next quest. Outside help.
No major injuries then. Good. I briefed the recovered soldiers and sent them on their way as quickly as I could, but nevertheless feared they would not make it in time.
The additional support was invaluable. Your men saved more than a few lives. Though not all, I regret to say.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Fortuneau Leveilleur. And you are owed an explanation for these most dire developments.
Fortuneau's actually being reasonable?
Another trial wrought by the final days. I was beginning to suspect as much. You doubtless feel some consternation having been forced to abandon your original plan. But trust me when I say you were right to send the refugees elsewhere. Beasts have been sighted within the capital. Perhaps it was a stroke of grim fortune that the population was decimated beforehand, as they've yet to appear in any great number, but in time. In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak. Once the airships have taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
I wouldn't have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
And I, for one, would not consider past transgressions more relevant than future contributions. Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
We swore to defend Garlemald, and so we shall.
It seems you have everything under control. You will excuse me then, for mine own duties await.
A moment, Master Fortuneau. You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Sharlayan alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
I swear.
I feel like he's had to ask him that in the past. Though probably Alize more often.
Any other I would doubt, but you I trust to keep your word. For not once have you broken it. Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
It does. You have my thanks.
Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First while we wait.
Oh, I've got a lot to tell ya.
Did you hear something just now?
What? That's a loperet.
Where is this star's blasted pudding?
Dawn may banish even the darkest night, and to this bitter clime bring warmth and comfort.
You took him
'Tis
on a...
heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
So you brought the loperets on a field trip.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose ere I procure more suitable garments.
Put on a coat.
Then allow me to summarize. We're here because none of you lot are up there. Nor has anyone deigned to send word about any changes in the plans. It's rude, is what it is. At least that's what I thought at first, but then folks got to wondering if you weren't in a spot of bother, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. Come down here and help, if our help be needed. So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Aetheris. Oriange made it sound absolutely marvelous. More so before the impending doom, but still. And it's not like there will ever be a better time. What with the aforementioned doom?
Marvellous, they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I must suffer Oriange's inferior works no more.
Oriange's been making pudding.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom? Ahem. As I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal. We were born from Heidelin's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Aye, not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active preservation. Speaking to Oriange made us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit. From there, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
I don't think Fortuna's actually ever met the
Forgive me,
loperets.
but are they...
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow, well met. You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last. living way. Heidelin's right paw. That last bit is very important. As am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I bid you welcome to our star, Living Way. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us. As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Sharlayan, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
'Twas with reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Loperites made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable. 'Tis trite, perhaps, but I followed my heart.
I can say, may thy disciples banish this darkest of nights, or good to haveth you back. That's what we're gonna say. Good to haveth you back.
For a time, at least. Nevertheless, 'twas worth the journey to find present company well. Wilt thou attend us at the Forum and lend thine own wisdom?
Stingmay's still there in the background.
If that's all quite settled, can we start moving before Urianger catches his death? Even I'm freezing out here.
Oh, I dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
Alright, so where are we at time-wise? Got a couple more minutes. Reunite? I dare say Master Fortuno was as nonplussed as we to learn the identity of Heidelin's lunar custodians. As he will soon discover, they have much and more to offer the Forum. Might I suggest we return to the Annex forthwith? We may yet have time to discuss thy recent adventures ere we are summoned to the rostra. We may indeed. We just have to get to an Ethernet crystal. Here's one. Although we can see the annex. It's right up there. But, lest we get drawn into another hour-long set of cutscenes, that's where we will end this one for now. And when we come back, we'll go wait to hear what the Forum has to say.